Previously on the Midnight Channel. Maybe you're not as bad as I thought you were. Megadola is decent too. You learn Repel Physic, okay then. Also, the sheer irony of fusing Giri Makala into Ganesha. And yeah, trophy and extra discount now that we've summoned 50% personas. I was wondering if we hit that. Also, yeah, Tamlin was my go-to persona for the broken Myriad Arrow strategy in Persona Q. No. But we're real secret agents, come on! Are you weak to electricity? No.
Don't give up now, okay?
Okay. Are you weak to Old Man? Wind Break. Do I really need that? So time for my all-purpose Death Elephant to attack. Could being translated as Elephant. Oh, there's the Death Arcana. First time we're seeing that. Oh, High Power Castle. I was wrong earlier in the game. That a Galactic Punt is actually considered a physical attack. Risei cures all Old Mans. Yes! Research card. That, as you can see by the icon, is a key item, and with this we actually need to backtrack to an earlier floor. And now... Storm Vow. I think that will boost the power of Yosuke's wind attacks. Oh, and I forgot to show off the Amaterasu fob that I found earlier. 30% increase to HP is pretty nice. Yeah, wind damage plus 30%. That's really nice. Okay, this is shaking a lot. Is it going to be a shadow? No. Shaking does not always indicate that a chest has a shadow in it, as I've said many times before. But here we are back on basement floor 3. And I think it's actually floor 4 that's the one that we need to go to. No, it's definitely floor 4. What am I saying? I'm dumb. Okay, that's new.
Oh, that's not...
These things were a giant enemy in the last dungeon in Persona Q.
Wow, it's puny. This'll be cake.
Here, apparently, they're puny. Okay, resist physical. I was worried for a second that you would null physical. Or drain it or something. You look like the kind of thing that would drain physical.
It didn't work.
Okay, no wind.
What? Teddy, no. Can someone help him?
And another... Okay.
It's weak to light.
Light. Okay, that's fine. Let's go for that then. Not Maragion. This. Kind of ironic because these things look like they're Justice Arcana, and Justice things are usually light aligned, but in this case they're weak to it. I should probably switch Teddy to a different outfit though. Okay, now we're on the right floor. So, this is the door that we couldn't open earlier, but we should be careful before we go in there because there is going to be a mini-boss. I'm going to go in the Yatufusa for the Oromataru. With our research card, we can get in here. And inside here, if we keep going, because there's more than just like a single room. Yep, strong presence. And so we must face Dr. Fortune's greatest creation.
Uh-oh, that one's immune to darkness.
The Dominating Machine!
Wow, it's puny. This'll be cake.
So as you can see there, it has Last Resort. It won't use it until it starts getting low in health though. Its only strategy is just to use Power Charge and Herculean Strike. That's it. And that's why I wanted a persona with Repel Physical. Because, yeah. That causes it to rebound its attack on itself. And for that reason, I'm also going to go ahead and use some corn. Not all of my corn, just some corn. Who is the wimpiest here who will take the most damage? I feel like I should protect Teddy first. Fizz Wall, Chie, yeah, so this thing actually takes 10% more damage than... I haven't even used Power Charge on Chie yet, wow. This thing takes 10% more damage than usual from Ice, but it takes 90% damage from most other elements, and I think 75% damage from Physical? I think I'm going to go for instead a Power Charge on Chie. It also takes less damage from Almighty. And you're going to use another, Tetracorn. I guess I'd rather protect Chie because she's Power Charged. And Teddy is corned. I'm already Tarokaja'd because of Yatafusa. So let's go for this for the extra damage. And here we go.
Ooh, nice move, Yosuke.
Not quite as much damage as I expected, and that's probably because I didn't debuff your defense first. Do I have anyone here with Rakuunda? I still have Hanuman. Let's go for that. Because it's even better if you have Rakuunda. And then I probably need to start manually Tetracarning things now. But your Power Charge, let's go for a Power Charge Black Spot. See how much this does. I'm guessing not a ton. Nothing at all, because lol miss. That's annoying. And you passively resist this. That's still quite a lot of damage, though. Going next, but it's probably just going to Power Charge itself again.
I can't defeat it!
Yep, there it is. Okay, so another strategy for this is just to equip a physical persona and just have everyone else guard. And then just do that for the entire fight. Like, that's definitely a possibility for this one. Because as long as it keeps bouncing its attacks back in its own face, it's really not much of a threat. Yeah, I'm gonna just guard with everyone else and see how much damage they take when they're all guarding. And Counter-Strike from Chie, and I think, yeah, that was a thing that happened. So, yeah, as I was saying, this boss, kind of pathetic when you have personas that repel physical, and also corn. That's why I farmed that much corn earlier on. Well, kind of. The other reason is for a little bit later in this dungeon. But yeah, the general theme of this boss is stop hitting yourself, stop hitting yourself. Didn't actually mean to guard. Please Ultra Charge. Please Ultra Charge. Oh, just defense increased. She usually does that before an enemy, like, does some kind of a big attack. So I get the feeling this thing might be last resorting now.
I can't defeat it!
Okay, yeah, it warns you for a little bit before it last resorts. And at that point in the fight, you should probably just defend so that you don't all die. But do I have anything with, like, ice or something? It is very, very low, I feel. I'm gonna throw a Magatama at it. One of the hell ones, because I have more of those. Not down yet. Chie Bufu, maybe? Still not down. Last time this did more than a Magatama would. Yep, there it goes. Barely less than a Magatama would that time. It's not even worth much experience. Yeah, that mini-boss is kind of silly when you have Repel Physical. But I wanted to show that. Gira Makala is a very good way of doing that, because it's available at a much lower level than Rungda. But for defeating that boss, we get ourselves the Leader card. Which, shouldn't we already be qualified for that? Because everyone called us Leader, and again, Persona Q hasn't happened yet. Now, I think if we do this, we will be able to continue straight from floor 6, because I think it always, like, checkpoints the furthest floor you reached. Nope, it doesn't. Okay. I'm gonna have to trek to floor 6 myself. Thank you, disjointed hitboxes.
You're on a roll, Senpai. 2 defeated. Come on! Take this!
These things have just the right amount of health to not get one-shotted by Mind Charge Megadola.
That was easy. I climbed the stairway to maturity.
So the only personas of mine that leveled up from that were the ones that didn't need it.
Your weaknesses. Oh, it's weak to physical attacks.
Okay then, haven't actually seen that one before.
Enemy down. You did it,
John, you're so
Senpai.
cool.
Dark.
And that's the one that's weak to both light and dark, so I'm gonna have to wait until Yu's turn to get that one.
Struck its weak spot, Chie-senpai.
What the hell? It's not working.
And there's Debilitate, so yeah, all stats lowered for that. Didn't know that appeared this early in the... Youch, that hits really hard, okay. I'm already on Ganesha though, so Mamudo on. And there we go. We'll obviously need to heal after that though. Yosuke's getting a lot of levels here. And a lot of us are hitting level 55. One more level and then Rise gets... Stamina Song's the better version. Gets Relaxing Wave, which is just so amazing. You have no idea. Once we get that, yeah, never need to worry about SP ever again. So here's that door we couldn't get past before. With the leader card, we can get through. And that leads us to the stairs to the final depths of the secret laboratory. Okay, that one actually was a shadow. And it was hands, great.
Rare one. Don't let it get away.
Okay then. Okay, this is probably gonna do a lot. Does like 600 normal. Wow, Rage plus Mind Charge is a massive damage boost. Because that's like around 620-ish normally, or like 650. And we get Bufudine, so obviously gonna replace Bufala with that. And Teddy will get Marakukaja next. Being able to buff both attack and defense is kind of nice. Well, very nice. Floor 7. Classified Sector 2. Threat level is finally red, but at least it's not white yet. That's actually a Final Fantasy 13 joke, but anyway. Yeah. We are very close to the end, and I should probably fight all of the enemies here because they could be power castles, and I need power castles. That was not a power castle.
Now's your chance. Run.
I might get the right level for the next boss anyway, so I probably should just run from things that aren't power castles. Oh man, for some reason, grinding for power castles, like their drop in particular, the power rock, one of the least fun experiences I had playing this game for the first time. So, yeah, I'm hoping it's not as bad on this playthrough, but it probably will be. That's a lot of Cyclopses that are all weak to physical.
3 enemies left. You can win this.
Assault of the Elderly!
3 enemies down.
Good answer.
Places, everyone. And action.
All right, here goes.
Go! Knock them out!
Okay, I didn't have Kurama Tengu before. Oh, I also got Gabriel out of Shuffle Time, who I kind of forgot that I had for a second. Probably could have made a much better one via fusion, but it doesn't mean that I can't ever do that in the future. Okay, another enemy. I'm just going to keep going, because this place does not have a lot of floors. I think it ends at floor 9. But in the later floors, I think like from 7 on, the Dominating Machine can start to appear as a random encounter, and it basically has the same kind of strategy it did as a mini-boss. Which means it's just as ruined by Repel Physical. Oh, you're new.
No problem. It'll be over in a flash.
Hell Knight, and you have Muda on, but it is not weak to light. But I'm going to hum on it anyway. Yet another new thing for the Compendium. Oh, Throne's a really cool persona. I would have liked to fuse one myself. Anyway, was that a hand? I think that was a hand. Yes, it's a hand. What are our levels like, though? Oh, yeah, we're already way... Yeah, we're nearly enough for the boss. Let's not do that. I know that sounds really dumb, but I really hate being over-leveled for boss fights. I don't like making boss fights look like a joke unless it's like that mini-boss, because that was kind of funny. Yep, at this point, Naoto's really, really desperate. Naoto wants us out of here, but we're having none of that. We're gonna save him, and that's final. This is the last floor until the boss one. And Red Shadow, this late. Oh, it's a machine, and it's also Jotun's.
No problem. It'll be over.
Jotun of Power. These things were like native to the very high floors of Tartarus back in Persona 3. It's weak to electricity though. And yeah, let's go ahead and Lilith them in that case.
You can win this.
And not have enough SP for it because, yeah. Yeah, yet another Repel Physical enemy.
Someone else's turn. It's so stubborn.
Yikes, it's tough.
Counting on you. Persona.
Keep it up, Yosuke-senpai. 2 defeated.
Ah, the machine-type enemies hit insanely hard, as you could probably tell by the ones in Void Quest. SP recovery. That's alright, but I'd rather have Teddy back. It's one of the things Rise can't do, is revive people.
Last one. Go for it. Take this.
Throw down. Persona. That's some thick skin.
Just what I'd expect, GA-senpai. Oh, yikes, Teddy. Someone...
Yeah, it also likes to cruel attack people who are down. If it gets any criticals.
Come on. Take
But it seems to be one of those high HP, very low defense enemies. Because Garodine did like around 900 to it. It definitely hits hard though. I need to fuse away Queen Mab, because seriously, this is just getting ridiculous. Having to watch her level up, like, all the time. Oh, you're new too.
Oh, that's not good. Darkness
Elegant
won't work.
Mother. They are weak to fire. Which is a problem because... Oh, no, actually, no, I do have enough SP for Maragidine thanks to Rise.
What could you be weak to? It's weak to fire.
Oh yeah, I remember these things being able to hit Riser stuff. They had a tendency to show up alongside Power Castles a lot. I know that because of my... my long Power Castle grinding sessions, of which I will probably have to do again in the future of this playthrough because side quests. Like, that is one thing, I actually am not a big fan of the way side quests are handled in this game. They're all basically just enemy drop fetch quests, and most of them don't really, like, apart from the Hermit ones and, like, the Twins ones, most of them don't really add much to the experience. Well, at least Mind Charge, is on 2 things now. Although I kind of like most of your... I have Makarakan on, although you have no weaknesses unlike Ganesha, so maybe it's better that I leave, yeah. Yosuke will be learning that soon. Okay, pressing on until, hopefully, the end soon. I should be fighting more of these things, but chances are this video's already gone on for quite a while. And I generally like to leave dungeons to 2 parts at most. I'll grab that chest. Of course it would be a shadow. And hands! Over 2,000. Doubled the Going Nova trophy. I was hoping that no items would change to a persona, but oh well. Because Nagatu Xanderites are useful to have.
Congrats, Senpai.
I knew you'd level up out of that. I knew you'd level up out of that.
And leveled up.
I leveled up.
I climbed the stairway to maturity.
It's level up time.
Oh, wow. I did not expect to have that. By the end of this dungeon, that is insane. Yeah, I am officially at the point where I never need to worry about SP again. Even if it gets low, I can just repeatedly fight low-level enemies and fully recharge my SP that way. And that is a great note to end things on, because this should be, yep, this is the boss hallway. Through these doors is the diabolical mastermind themselves, Shadow Naoto. We're gonna go back to prepare, and then we'll be back for possibly my favorite Shadow boss fight in terms of story, but one of my least favorite in terms of gameplay. But also one of my favorite in terms of symbolism, so overall, I think it's gonna be a good time. But I just realized something. I forgot to re-enter the Velvet Room after getting Ganesha with Tetrakarn. Fortunately, Ganesha still has that.
Welcome to the Velvet Room.
I think the main reason why I forgot about this is because we can't get it to rank 10 yet. We need to be level 67 for that. Oh, it's this one! I knew that she mentioned this at one point. It's much better in Persona Q, where she and Elizabeth sing a fully voiced duet of that. It also comes up in Persona 4 Arena, I think. But yeah, speaking of Elizabeth, this is really our first indirect mention of her, and yeah, I miss those days too. Looking at some Persona 3 footage, I actually really miss Elizabeth. It's just, I don't know, it's frustrating to have to say this, but I'm really not a big fan of Margaret. Like, as I've said earlier, I find she's either just being really boring, or just blatantly flirting with the player. So yes, this is her final test. Trumpeter with Mind Charge. Trumpeter is one of these special fusion spreads. I think it's actually, yeah, it's Hexagon. And, yeah, requires a lot of personas we don't actually have yet, although we can actually fuse Pabilsarg and, I think Talwu now. Just gonna quickly check if there's anything I can get, but honestly, I feel like I'm kind of set for personas at this point. Because just about everything I could fuse here would require me to give up personas that I really want. Although Shiki Orgy with Repel Physical is tempting. Though you're the only one I have who has Mind Charge right now. Basically, I want to keep Yatsufusa for this boss fight for having Makara-kan and no weaknesses. I can also make, definitely not a Disney shout-out at this point, who has a very, very good magic stat. Okay. This is possible. Repel Physical, Megadola. Honestly, of all of the other skills, I actually kind of want Masugunda more. Guess I can go Growth 2. Wasn't actually expecting to fuse a new persona here. And yes, he does do the mouth. In some games, Jin has even more hilarious animation of the mouth. Also, in some games, it's more green. This is one of the ones where they're definitely going full on with the Disney references. Okay, Fire Boost is pretty decent. Oh look, Null Physical, Resist Physical. All skills that I don't need at all. Because I have Repel Physical on you already. Like, even in terms of fusion fodder, I'd actually rather have Valiant Dance than Null Physical, because seriously, if you've got a persona that's got Repel Physical, there's really no point to have potential inheritance of Null Physical onto other things. As you can see here, Cert is no longer the ultimate magician persona. Genbu Gabriel thrown into this. 3 personas that I don't need, and you're gonna get a rank 10 experience bonus on a Social Link experience update. So I guess Hammer Boost and Hammer On is probably my best option there, which means pretty much guaranteed death to anything weak to light, although things weak to light are already basically guaranteed to die from Hammer On. So you're gonna get a lot of experience out of this. And Medea Rahan, hence why I didn't pass down Medea Rama. Arrow Rain, that's a weird skill for you to get. Yeah, magic stats are definitely approaching the 50s at this point, which means Thoth is not really as useful anymore. He was definitely good for the time I had him, even though he almost got me killed against Shadow Mitsuo because of that wind weakness. Oh, Mother Harlot's available to me now. I can get Daisoljo now too, but he requires me to give up some personas that I actually really want. Hanuman Mot Hariti. Really? Kinky is like a direct upgrade on Hanuman at this point. So I guess I can go with you. Mataru Kaja. Yeah, you'll learn Power Charge anyway. Arms Master. You already have Vile Assault, so need to pass down Cruel Attack, but I would actually kind of like Rakunda. And I guess Medea Rahan. And so, in the words of your summoning quote from P5, me kinky. Which has led to a lot of jokes. A lot of jokes. Oh yeah, you have Inherent Null Physical, so I didn't even need to pass that down. I was feeling bad about not passing down Null Physical, and then I noticed that. Holy crap, that endurance. I mean, your magic sucks, but... I mean... Wow, that endurance. And you also have Revolution for more crits. And High Counter. Yeah, I don't really need Gigantic Fist. Obviously, I do need Power Charge. I like having an all-targeting attack, though. I might get rid of this since I have Repel Physical personas at this point. Your endurance has now surpassed, Yeah, the ultimate chariot persona who is 20 levels above you. Oh, I can finally get Anubis. Lowest level judgment persona. Which means you've probably seen this in the Velvet Room since the beginning of the game, but yeah, you have to wait for a long time to actually get it. Actually, no weaknesses and Makara-Khan is very, very good for Shadow Naoto if you want to go for this. Oh. Oh. We're at the right level for this. I forgot that you were level 62. Yeah, but... I swear, is it on purpose that both of these fusions involve Kinki? Like, I know that just means Gold Oni, but still, ugh. Let's... I will have to fuse this eventually, but I'm not going to show it on camera yet, because I don't want this video to be about that. I basically, lock myself into every single, video that involves Mara having a giant warning in the title that the video contains Mara, and I don't want it to be this. And, okay, good amount of money. So I could grind for the Power Rocks now, and that is actually what the guide wants you to do, but I checked and it seems like the quest that requires them, well, specifically the quest that requires, the Daidara item you get out of selling those, does not expire. So I can afford, like, I've seen people doing that quest way later in the game, so I can afford to put that off until I next visit into the TV, which is a good thing because, like I've said before, I hate that quest. May as well give the fox some love, because from next dungeon on, we have Risei's Relaxing Wave, which means there's pretty much no need to use the fox ever again, really, as I've said.